Do you think it's weird that they haven't asked Deebo Samuel to take a salary reduction in the same way that they have Armstead and Juice? Haley or no?
No, because they still could. There's no rush to do it yet. I think Juice for sure, because it's like, why do you need
Why
Juice for?
haven't they restructured like Travarius Ward and stuff? I know that they restructured Fred
They restructured it
Warner
last year.
earlier this,
They
but I think that
restructured.
they could have done it again.
They could do it again, yeah, because they restructured Fred Warner again.
Yeah.
Well, Fred Warner, you do it again because he's a no-brainer that you feel comfortable locking in for the next 3-4 years, right? Like he's still pretty young. He's an All-Pro, like of course. Travis Ford All-Pro. I think if anything, yeah. Well, again, I think they're just working like the totem pole, like Fred Warner
Really
first.
quick, I just don't want to burst this guy's bubble. Kalia Davis not going to work out. Don't hold your breath on that one. You, you
Yeah, it's
I felt
expect the worst.
like I was just reading that and I was like, that's not gonna be a thing. Defense was at its best when we had depth. What do
Yeah,
you
it
think?
was.
I think that that's why they're looking at a lot of these middle tier guys versus putting all the money in the more expensive guys
That
that
2021
are
year,
older
remember
and
they
that
had a
would push
Menahu,
it.
Ebukam, Arden Key. I think I'm missing someone else. Like I remember they're getting good adequate from Eric Armstead, Givens, and someone else too. But yeah, they had fantastic like production from that. That 2021 year was Nick Bosa and platoon system. That was amazing. But yeah, even though they had depth again, like they still, like I said, they had someone like an Arden Key to stand out. Like he had 6.5 sacks. So you're hoping Leonard Floyd can do that. Like if he gives you like that 9 to 10.
Yeah, Leonard Floyd seems like he was a good signing. I thought that that was a good signing. I don't think maybe it's not Daniil Hunter, which is what people were like hoping for, but money wise, I felt like that was a good signing. He had
Yeah,
really
because
good production.
you can't
He's been
assign like
healthy.
two like premier defensive ends. Like what defense has that? No one does.
Chiefs had it for a little bit with
Frank Clark wasn't making like that crazy money. He wasn't even that
that's
good. He was not premier. He was overpaid. If
okay.
anyone, the only team that has it now, not even the Raiders have it. They have Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby, but those aren't edge
No, they
rushers.
just signed. Who did they just sign? Kristen. Oh, wait, yeah, you just said it.
Christian Wilkins, yeah, but that's two different positions, so that's not edge and edge. And the second thing is Max Crosby took. God, the Raiders finessed the hell out of him on
Yeah.
that deal. He's getting
Fire his agent and go sign Kirk Cousins'
If
agent.
Brock Purdy's number one, the most bargain deal in the NFL, Max Crosby has to be number two. Because what the hell? When he's due for an extension after this year or two, like he needs to like tell them to give him like ownership or something, like 2% ownership, because the team discount he took on that thing was ridiculous. But yeah,
Crazy.
Leonard Floyd,
Absolutely
fine,
crazy.
I don't mind it. I just wonder like when I looked through the thing, I was like, wow, he's been 9 sacks last 4 years. Like, okay. But my thing is always like, how many of those are cleanup sacks? Like, what was that? Like, what, like, are you just like the cleanup man? Because like, you get a little credit for that, but it's not like you're necessarily the one who's outright being the disruptor and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
what is he? But, you know, maybe that might be good enough for the 49ers. Because like I've always said, like the 49ers have
I feel
needed
like they've been
Rodman.
hoping, like, a lot of the guys, when we talk about Chase Young and Jackson, I think they were hoping, like, just
Yeah, they might see
maybe be
Leonard
a
Floyd. Like, if Leonard
cleanup
Floyd
guy.
was in those positions as those guys, he probably gets like at least a few more sacks. So yeah,
Yeah.
remember when Trace Young got traded? Young had like a sack and a half or 2 sacks more than Nick Bosa,
Mm-hmm.
and Bosa ended up finishing the year with 4 more sacks than him.
That was a disappointing one. Now, I do want to touch on, because a lot of people are talking about the defensive line, or not the defensive line, but the O-line. It's an okay signing, but O-line should be the focus. And then no quality offensive linemen make it to free agency unless you want to pay $20 million for a guard. And so that's kind of what I was gonna say, like in response
Oh
to
yeah, stay away
people
from free agency on
saying
the
that the
guards.
49ers are like more focused on defensive linemen. My anticipation was always that they were going to target more defense in free agency and then use their first round pick and maybe even trade up to get an offensive lineman in the draft. And then I mean, I would be happy if they used their first 2 picks on offensive linemen. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but that's kind of, as a fan, what I was hoping they would do. So I'm not super disappointed that they haven't targeted the offensive line in free agency so far. Fans have to remember this is only like half the process. You know, I think when you see other teams making all these moves, you're like, oh, I want to be in on it and stuff. But like,
It's
your
only been 2 days of
roster
free
is not
agency
filled.
too. Not even the second day of free agency isn't over yet. There's still a
Yeah.
long ways. Like always, the first 3 days of free agency is usually like the first like tier 1 and tier 2 guys that are always like commanding the most. And by the time it's like that Thursday or Friday, that's when even like if Daniil Hunter's still unsigned there, that's when it's like, okay, dude, your value's done. Because then you would have been signed already, like a Christian Wilkins was immediately as soon as the free agency started. So I think that's where the 49ers are really going to have that advantage and really be able to hone in, like look for those guys. And remember, there's still the case of Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack being released out there.
No.
One of them are getting released.
No,
I'm hoping
Joey
it's Khalil
Bosa.
Mack because I would love
Joey
for that to be the signing. Just don't bring Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa stinks.
No Joey Bosa. Floyd, third down pass rusher. Well, it just depends. When he was with the Rams, he played every single down.
Snap.
Every snap.
Yeah. That's the scary part. If he's just a pass rush specialist, cool. That's a little rich for your buck for that money. But if you do get some rundowns from him, like he might be someone that run at.
I like what Leon is saying. All these guys are really solid run blockers. That was our biggest weakness, so I can't complain. And he's right about that.
Ooh.
That's where the
49ers
struggled the least last year. They went from like, what was it, 5th in stopping the run to like 26th or something in the regular season. They sucked at stopping the run.
Run blockers is offensive line.
He might not be saying it right, but I think he means stopping the run.
Run blocking the Niners were okay. Run defense was, there was like,
I think that's what
there was inconsistency there, obviously, especially in the playoffs.
Yes, I agree. Fish and Chips does counter that and says, don't expect Floyd to
stop the run. Elliott, sure, fine. Nice little boulder there. Who's the other? I can't even pronounce the other guy's name. The guy from Carolina. He should probably. You know what probably happen? Yeah. It'll be the Ebicam of the 49ers where he comes early on base downs, or the Cleveland Farrell now base downs. Maybe gets you some quality pass rushing stats with Floyd. That'll be interesting.
Gross Matos. I'm just not even gonna try to pronounce his first name.
When the 49ers when it was announced 49ers signed him, I was like, who? Who is this guy? At least Jordan Elliott I've kind of heard of a little bit because maybe that's because I did watch some Browns games, but I didn't watch a single Carolina game. I haven't.
He's clarifying for you, Jose, by the way. You made him insecure.
Okay, that's what we figured then.
I'm just kidding. By the way, Leon, I understood your comment. Don't worry about it. I agree, though. Hell no on Joey Bosa. Did you see Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa's mom, on Instagram posting pictures of Joey Bosa in 49ers uniforms, posting pictures of both of her sons together with the caption, "Can't wait for my sons to be on the same team." I mean, she was just going hard on the Instagram stories.
Well, of course, that's her mom. She wants to see her two sons play together. I'm sure Travis and Jason Kelsey's mother would have loved that to have happened at one point. But no, if you're the 49ers, stay away from this. Like, I know it's cute and all, but no.
No.
Yeah, unless he wants to play for really cheap.
That's such a thing with fans. Why do everyone wants them to sign? Jerry Rice is Frank Gore.
Jerry Rice Jr., like you said. There's someone else too. Luke McCaffrey.
McCaffrey. I just want the best players. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Now, and I have heard that Luke McCaffrey is good, but I'm just saying.
Nah, I just go somewhere else. Yeah, because really, if you're talking about any Chargers pass rusher the Niners should want, it should be pressure.
Like, if you're the son of Frank Gore, do you really want to go on the 49ers and have to deal with that pressure too? That's a whole other thing.
He probably wouldn't think about pressure. He probably think that'd be sick. Like, cool, I get to go where my dad went. Continue on the Gore legacy.
Okay, you're right. Maybe that's true. O-line depth in the draft is pretty deep. I agree. I know that Marco and I have talked a lot about this. He had 9 starters in the first round that he felt were of like that caliber. And I don't know how far they could get up if they traded their first and their second. But I think if you can get to like 20, you could probably get a good starter. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Do you think they'll draft worse or better now that Adam Peters is gone?
I think you asked me this last week, and I said I think it'll be the same.
I think they want a whole team of pure defensive linemen.
Defensive line in every position.
That's definitely what Kyle Shanahan wants.